Hello everyone, this is the Nameless One, and tonight I am here with Sawtooth, Paige,
Hello.
Bear, Ballistic, and Link. Sadly, Cameo will not be able to join us for this session. But for those of you watching, if we could get a bit of love for her in the chat there, hopefully she will be feeling better soon. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump right into the recap.
Alright, so last time we ended up fighting the person who was guarding the totem. Wait, I'm sorry, I still get all their names confused.
I believe this was Long Night.
Yes.
That was Long Night, yes. So we finished off Long Night. I missed out on the bulk of the fighting, but I was lucky enough to get the final blow in. I feel like I cheated that one. And then we absorbed the magic from the totem, and I ascended to a higher level of lichdom, from which I cannot return bearing a
Divine Intervention.
divine intervention. So yeah, literally only a deity could save me now. Wonderful news! What else happened?
I believe, for the most part, other than you guys making it to level 20 and the recovery of the remainder of the scriptures, that's about it.
Yeah, we finally have all 12 scriptures, and we're at the highest level we can get, which is pretty darn awesome. After a year and a half, we've made it.
Oh no, it's only been about 2 weeks for me.
Alright. That's just like how I came back in at the end of the battle and finished things off, and I guess Sawtooth was just poo-brained for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
Was there anything else?
That should be it. Hold on just a second.
I enjoyed spilling blood.
That's the first time I've heard Saw say that.
A lot has changed. A lot has changed. It's, to be fair, it's evil blood, so
Fair's not talking right now. And you're not fair.
Tooth saws.
Okay.
I do miss my little clone buddy, to be honest.
Oh,
He
That's
kept stabbing us.
I
that
don't.
did happen in last week's session. The clones kept messing things up. Particularly, Ballistic's clone was just stabbing people until Gaster had enough and just blasted them. Including, who else got blasted in that?
I don't remember who else got hit by that.
Was it
Nameless. I think Nameless got hit as well. Like,
Yeah,
Shadowfire, sorry. Shadowfire got hit.
Yeah.
So, now that we have gotten that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and, I believe, just go ahead and start with the dreamwalking sequence from Paige, because you guys would have traveled back to the Dwarven, or the Durgard Tavern in
The Resistance headquarters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is what we decided on.
Probably. I don't remember.
So, Paige, it is your call on who you're going to pester first.
Ballistic, I choose you.
Pokemon.
I already have the electricity type, I'm pretty sure.
Hey! That's true.
being a lightning rod doesn't make you an electric type.
I mean, that is a Pokemon ability.
Is that why your profile picture is Denki?
It took you this long?
Sorry. Is that why, though?
Also because just one of my favorite characters and other things.
Okay. Fair enough.
I step into ballistics.
The first thing you see when you step inside are 3 Quillians. Hi, Paige. No, wait, sorry. Hi, Flare. Solar Flare.
Scripture.
Scripture.
Why do I feel like it just makes sense that this is all being done in character still?
Yeah,
Well, just wall breaking moments.
the meta breaker. I can see it.
Hi, ballistic or not?
Paige, that's Ballistic's job to break the fourth wall.
I know. I am blanking on names right now.
Quillian
Quillian.
Splat.
Quillians.
Let's just all get in character.
That's the one I know.
Hello, Quillians.
So are you a dream one, or are you a real one? Or are you in a real one in a dream? Is this a dream? This is probably a dream now I think about it, because all the clones are gone in the real life, aren't they? I didn't actually have more than 2 clones. I only had the 1 clone. Anyways, are you real?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you're dream walking? No, not dream walking, dream visiting again.
Yes.
Cool. What do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to check in on you.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice. That was actually pretty stressful, that last battle, wasn't it?
Yes.
I almost killed multiple of our party members. That hurt. That hurt.
I walk over and give the Quillian. The Quillian I think is the original Quillian a hug.
Over here.
I mean, if they're dream copies made by him, then they would all be just as equally him, but also not him and look flawless. So
Yeah.
it's a crapshoot.
I just hug one of the Quillians.
The other 2 Quillians come and form a group hug.
Is this a dream or a nightmare?
I think it's
for
a
Quillian,
dream.
I think it's a dream.
Yeah,
How are
depends
you
on who's
doing?
having it.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and check on some of the other people's streams.
Oh, okay. Bye.
As I step out of Quillian's, I look around for a little bit for our newest party members. Link, that's your cue.
Hello. Okay. So, as you enter my dream, you see me in a rather large stone room, lit up with 2 torches on either end, one on an open doorway that seems to contain a staircase heading down, and another a wooden door, currently closed but looked quite decrepit, next to a torch. And my character is sitting in the middle of the room, meditating. He's not noticed you yet, or pays no attention.
I walk over and say hello.
He opens his eyes and says, "Oh, hi, you were one of them from the fight. What are you doing here?"
Mm. One of my abilities for being a cleric of Luna, I can walk into others' dreams. I normally do this after fights to get a gauge on how my party's doing.
Huh, that's so interesting. I've never experienced that before. How can you get into my dream, though? This is weird. Anyways, nice to meet you. I don't think I formally introduced myself to you. My name is Flowing Sky. What's your name?
I am Solar.
Ah,
Solar Scripture.
nice to meet you, Solar.
Interesting dream you have it going on.
Yeah, well, it's more of a nightmare, really. I have this sort of reoccurring dream, you see, and, essentially it's this tower of sorts. And no matter how high I seem to go, there always seems to be more of it. And every time I ascend a new level, there's something there waiting for me. It's honestly rather fun. I get to fight quite a lot of things, but it does get scary at times.
Hmm. Hmm. You say this is a nightmare for you?
You know, it's happened to me. It was definitely a nightmare when I was a younger fool, when I was a kid, but at this point, it's gotten so repetitive that it's more of like a dream, you know? Just like I've turned into something a bit more enjoyable.
Hmm.
I do love fighting after all, so. And on occasion, there's some pretty strong things in the tower, but often it's just disappointment.
Hmm. It is relieving to see someone in the dream, though. I always thought that this might be a curse or something, but if someone can walk into here, then I doubt so.
So, Paige, if you want, you can go ahead and roll a religion check to see if you can shed any insight on it.
Okay.
Just go ahead and use Discord.
Yeah, that's what I was planning to. Plus 16.
So, with the abilities given to you by Luna, it doesn't matter the type of dream as long as it is not like something being actively influenced by another entity. Like there are specific types of creatures where they attack things by essentially grabbing hold of their dream state, or if you are being actively blocked by a more powerful entity. But both of those instances would be ones that you would be unable to get into a dream. But if it's something like, say, a curse laid a long time ago, doesn't necessarily prevent you from stepping in.
There's very few situations where someone would be barred from being able to walk into a dream.
Ah, I see.
And if I was barred from walking into a dream, that is a bigger problem than unless it's someone like one of the deity level party members, like Shadowfire.
Well, that's relieving, at least. Anyways, how are you doing? How are you holding up after the fight?
I don't fully know. Still getting a step closer to the goals.
I see.
But Sawtooth going through and fully committing himself to becoming a lich.
That is interesting. What is going on there? I saw him absorb that weird.
Desecration of a creature's soul.
So, as of right now, Link, you are technically a neutral aligned creature, and with Paige being a good aligned versus Sawtooth's forcibly evil aligned, it's one of those things where like the perversion that is Sawtooth right now is not so much as bothering you. Like it's not nice, but it's not like you're not going to necessarily see it as the same like blemish.
You're not seeing it as a desecration where I straight up see it as the all bad that a high level cleric would, unless I was an evil cleric.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like
even then some evil clerics would still think it bad.
Yeah, for Paige right now it is like the antithesis of what she is.
Yeah.
The same would go for Shadowfire and Gaster, but you know, they started that way, and that's just kind of.
The Shadowfire is terrible, but I can get past it because they were like that before I met them. Where I'm watching a friend, a combination of a hero of my state and someone who I've grown close to get pulled into a dark void.
Just like watching me decay in real time.
Oh god, that must be horrible for you. Sorry to hear it.
I have a question though. I'm sorry. Would me and Flowing Sky, would Sawtooth and Flowing Sky at least be able to get along since they're neutral?
That is entirely up to them on that point.
It's based on how his character views the undead.
Because I miss getting along with Solar Scripture and all of
them. For the most part, most of the good aligned characters are going to have more animosity towards you because of your lichdom than it's one of those that you would end up probably meshing more with characters of neutral and evil alignments because of the fact that they're not necessarily going to outright shun you. I would say that even with his alignment shift back towards a more good, Fallfire is still one that would like not necessarily be shunning you, where Ballistic, Cameo, and Paige's characters are all ones that, like, at best, Ballistic would be like tolerant towards you, where the other two are going to be outright like you are wrong now. Like your existence is wrong.
I'm used to that. It's okay. But at least like Fallfire, since he used to be there, even if he's good now, he was there at one point.
He's coming from a point of understanding rather than a point of, oh my god, why would you ever do this kind of thing?
Okay.
I think I should probably go and check on some of the other party members and make sure they're doing all right.
Alright, well, sounds good. Have yourself a nice night, Paige. Sorry, what's your
Solar.
name?
Solar
Solar.
script.
You may not
Apologies.
remember. You can decide whether or not your character actually remembers the dream, and even if you do, you would only remember bits and pieces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'll be vague memories. Like you'll know if you remember anything, you will remember the fact that you know,
Solar was in the dream, which is completely completely foreign. No,
technically
think
speaking, like it's kind of that like I dreamed about you, but it's just kind of
Yeah.
weird to tell somebody that, so I'm not gonna say anything kind of deal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Quillian will be one of those exceptions where Quillian will probably call out that they dreamed about people.
Yeah. But that's just because it's Quillian. That's what we're talking about.
Hmm.
William remembers everything with like perfect detail.
Because technically speaking, with the Cleric of Luna, it's not exactly a well-known fact that they can dreamwalk because nobody really believes it.
Yeah. And even then, it's one of the rules is to not talk about people's dreams. 'Cause,
Mm.
It's a private place.
Rule of
yeah.
So, who's next? You got 3 more. Well, technically 4, but one of those 2 you have to choose between.
Yeah. I'm going to step into Fall Fires.
What you got, Fair?
It is a repeat of the dream that you were in before.
We got a new person. You got to describe it again.
I might have to find where I stored that.
Oh, that's a wonderful image there, Ballistic. Is that...
There's more to it. He is trying to be uncreative, so I'm making him reread it.
Hmm.
It's not quite what it was like ballistic, but
Your audio is going in and out right now, Fair. Did Fair get lost?
I don't know. Now they're just muted.
Okay, so how about we just move on to Sawtooth and we'll come back to Fair.
Yeah.
If
Step
Fair
into
time to
the tube brain.
it's kind of moldy in there. Now,
Yeah.
Sawtooth, just to give you some more information, you don't sleep anymore. You do what is called revelry, where it's kind of a dreamlike state, but it's like lucid dreaming. You have full control over, like, everybody else doesn't necessarily have control over their dream. Like, if something happens during the dream, then, like, in order for it to make any, like, in order for anything to change in it, Paige would have to exert power.
Yeah.
Whereas you can run it like a slideshow.
Okay.
So,
When Solar steps in my dream, um, she sees Sawtooth sitting, looking onwards towards a great split in the sky. Just a huge crack down the middle of his field of view. On the left, there's an image of Sawtooth himself laying decrepit on the floor, unable to move, just laying there helplessly. And on the right, there's Sawtooth looking full of power and energy, but surrounded by several corpses.
Mm.
And Sawtooth looks contemplative. He looks troubled that he feels these are his only two futures, and he has to pick one.
Hello, Sawtooth.
Sawtooth turns his head. Solar, you've done this before, haven't you?
I have.
But you're walking in dreams, right?
Yes.
Or how do I know that I'm not dreaming that you're walking in dreams?
Hmm. I guess you don't know.
Well, Dream Solar or Real Solar, the company's welcome.
So, what are you or what is the scene?
It's well, it's my only choice. It's the choice I have to make. I mean,
Are you sure this is your only choice?
I have the creeping feeling that I'm gonna have to pick between one of these two futures. That I'll have to depend on this horror on the right to stay alive, or just this forever state of paralysis on the left. What would you choose? Like, it's not an easy choice.
I'm going to attempt to alter your dream.
Okay, so like I said, wisdom check, and this one is going to be base 25
Base 25. Okay.
because you are altering an undead's revelry without permission. Because this is not so much a dream state as a revelry controlled by Toot, even if he doesn't quite realize it yet.
Yep.
So Toot, you feel a weak kind of push on your mental state, but not really anything you can identify.
What are you doing?
I was attempting to bring up a third option.
A third? You think there's another choice?
We could find a way to bring you back from being a lich.
From what I've talked to Gaster, who would know the most about this, and from what I seem to be able to gather, me absorbing the magic in that pylon was the point of no return. I made a commitment, which I still think was the right thing to do, because we're gonna need a lot of power versus what's coming up. But after that, if we survive this whole thing, I don't see how there could be more than two options. How could I be restored after this?
I'd try to find a way.
I mean, I appreciate the optimism, but I feel like it's a little unrealistic. I'm happy to have your support, though. You won't hate me if I choose the right option, will you?
We don't answer the question as I walk out of your dream.
Okay, we're going to try fair again.
Fingers crossed. Hopes crossed.
How's the audio?
The audio's working.
Well, is it good audio?
It is
Or
good
at least
enough audio.
Decent audio. That could
It's
work
better
with
than
me.
no audio.
Facts.
So when you enter the dream, you see Fire sitting under a tree next to the stream of silence. You can see that he is sitting alone, staring into the stream. You can also see that he doesn't have any wings or his mask on. When you get closer, you can see the reflection of a Kirin in the water, but it is gruesome and deformed. Suddenly, the figure reaches out and pulls Fallfire into the stream of silence. The world around is suddenly changed, a burnt husk of what it used to be. Trees smoldering and skeletons burning. The remains of the Kirin village and surrounding forest is transformed into a hellscape. In the center of the village, Rainshine is tethered in magic, tortured and broken. She tries to speak, but her tongue has been cut out, forever silencing the chieftain of the Kirin. Shadowy figures of the Nightmare Guards we have defeated, scorched remains of Durek and Pinkie Pie as well, as Beholden and all the other generals of Sultenibris encroach the view as everything turns black. Sultenibris is now all you can see, his gaze peering deeply into your soul, a voice echoing through the darkness that you can only assume is him. This is what happens to those who get in my way. And everything fades away as you're suddenly whisked back, beginning where you were sitting next to the tree, staring into the reflection of yourself.
As I step in behind you, you can see my reflection in the pool of water.
What are you doing here? How are you here? What?
If you would like Paige to exert your will on the dream, you can roll for a DC 15.
Me roll DC 15?
No, Paige rolls DC 15.
Okay.
Nat 20, so anywhere of your choosing. Literally anywhere.
I pull us out into Actually, I'll pull us into the church, one of the churches. But instead of it being broken down, it is fixed up. Light shining.
Okay.
What are we doing here?
I wanted to pull you out of the other dream. To a place that...
Wait, I'm dreaming right now?
Yes.
Well, okay, hang on. Explain this real quick. How are you in my dream? What did you just do?
You know I'm a cleric of Luna, right?
Yes.
One of the abilities that are granted to her followers is the ability to walk dreams.
Have you done this before?
Yes, I have, actually.
Have you done this to me before?
I don't
Yes,
know.
yes, you have.
Yes.
You
Yes,
just
I have.
You did interfere that time.
Yes. I have done it before without interfering.
Why'd you interfere this time?
Because I can see the dream is still eating at you.
Yeah, it's been going on quite a while. Ever since Manhattan got destroyed, it's been eating at my mind of what we're really doing. Why are we even here? Why do we have to do this?
Because if we don't, more trouble will happen.
I know. That's why this dream keeps happening. I want to go back to my village. I want to go help, but I can't, because if I don't do this, I just know that nobody else will.
I'll give you a hug.
For the first time in a very long time, Fallfire cries.
I promise you, as soon as we get out of here, I will assist you with whatever you need.
I very much want to see my family again. It's been a very long time since I've seen them.
Hopefully we make it out of here alive then.
I don't know what we're going to do if we don't.
I'll make sure you won't die before I do.
Oh, I'm stubborn. I'm not going down without a fight. And I'll make sure that you don't go down either. Because without you, I go down.
With that, I walk out of the dream.
So as you are stepping out of the dream, just before you do see what appears to be a nearly invisible shimmering alicorn, who gives you a nod that seems to convey thankfulness.
I nod back at the alicorn. So I step out.
Who next? You got two other options that you need to go through. But you got to choose one or the other.
I go towards Gaster's.
So, when you get to Gaster's dream, you step into what appears to be a large open field. Far off and to the left, there appears to be a large building. It's hard to tell what it was for because it is in shambles right now. In front of you, there is a bipedal skeleton figure with an oddly marked skull. In front of him is a book. The book sends chills down your spine as you look at its ominously glowing cover as it opens up and begins to flip through pages. As this happens, a brilliant golden glow seems to emit from the skeletal figure as it raises up into the sky, and you can hear arcane incantations that you were unfamiliar with as it begins to chant, and you can almost see what appears to be fingers of some other entity reaching down to touch it as golden magical circles of enormous size begin to just kind of populate across the sky. And as he finishes the incantation, beams of golden light strike the ground with tremendous force. And as the destruction begins to spread in your direction, it freezes, and you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I turn towards the tap.
Gaster is standing behind you in his equine form. Hard to read as usual due to his lack of real facial features other than the bony grin that seems to be ever present though you do get the sense of an almost cynical appearance to it, despite it's not changing.
That's an impressive show you had.
He chuckles dryly as you say that and says, I should have supposed that this would have happened eventually. Yes. What you see before you is the end of where I came from.
The end?
He nods. Sometimes you must make the hard choices to prevent worse things from happening. And as he says that, the landscape blurs and shifts to a magical circle surrounded by humans. They are dressed in dark robes, and the circle appears to have been created from some unknown metal and is covered in blood of who knows how many people, as they are in the process of prostrating themselves. Once again, it's all frozen, but you can see the beginnings of what appears to be some sort of portal opening, and even through this dreamscape, you can feel the primal terror of whatever it is that lies beyond. As Gaster steps forward and points to it and says, my world ended when they opened a gate to something that I hope to never see again.
Well, I'm sorry to hear what happened.
He looks at you and says that in kind of a cold, deadpan tone, it is not for you to be sorrowful for my loss. It is in the past now.
Your dream seems more solid than most.
He nods and says, unlike your companion, I have been like this for time immemorial at this point. At one point, I don't even know if I was ever actually human. As the scene shifts again, you see a much less worn-looking Gaster, just in a humanoid form, as he points and shouts in the midst of a battle between all manner of monstrous creatures and humans. Back then, I was so naive. And he says this in a tone that could only be described as almost disgusted. He looks at you and asks, so how do you see him now?
It's complicated. I still see my friend, but something's wrong.
He shakes his head and chuckles dryly as he turns back towards the scene of the battle, and it shifts again to show a child wielding a knife and says, it's always the same with you types. It's always that sense of just because there's change doesn't, it means any change. As long as it's what you want, it's perfect.
Not all change is bad.
He looks back at you and says, "I did not say it was." And he turns and looks at you and asks, "If it comes to a point where you must choose between him and another, one uncorrupted by this change, which would you choose?"
More likely the other.
He nods and looks as the scene changes once more to an image of the group of you at a tavern, and he walks his way through the frozen images of individuals and says, "It's unsurprising. I've seen so many times where clerics and paladins and priests, druids, all of them who call themselves righteous, they see the one that has fallen and turn for the one that hasn't." The image shifts again to an image of Gaster wearing tattered clothing and looking on the brink of collapse as he's reaching out his hand for what appears to be a perfectly normal human who is doing so in return. And he turns to you and says, "Just because something appears to be broken does not mean that it can't be saved." And with that, you're basically shunted, like, forcefully out of his dream. So that will be the end of the dream sequences. You guys are now awake. For those of you that aren't Sawtooth and Gaster, and with the exception of Ballistic, so Fair and Link, if you have any recollection of it, of the dream walking sequence, it will be a vague, "I dreamed about solar scripture," rather than a "I saw solar scripture."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the actual cavern portion of this. So, Link, you are, for this portion, you're able to interact with all of the VIPs as well as the party members, and I will let you know you are probably about to be bombarded by questions. I do encourage the questioning of VIPs as well, because they will be important in future interactions. So if you have any questions that you would like to put forward to them as well. Lena is a monk archetype Pegasus. Shadowfire is a alicorn, which is basically a living deity of this setting. And then Gaster is basically just think of him as another powerful lich. So.
Okay.
If I can turn your attention, you have Roll20 open, so for the rest of you, if you already remember these, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just showing him the food and drink menus. So there's the drinks, and there's the food.
I was trying to remember the drinks, so
I opened them up in the and showed them to y'all in the Roll20.
Hellfire will be ordering himself a healthy double portion of Hellfire chicken.
Okay. Now I will note that the foods do have bonuses, and you do know about the bonuses. So you can choose based off the bonuses of the foods that you decide will work best for you. The drinks did have bonuses, but I'm just not going to be digging for those right now.
Yeah.
So basically, you will make a a Constitution saving throw based on which drink you choose, and then if you pass it, you don't pass out drunk.
Speaking of passing out drunk, he also orders a door fire.
Okay, you know what to roll.
Yes, I do know what to roll.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy myself a dream drought.
Okay,
How expensive is that again?
Constitution.
Doesn't have a price.
hold on just a sec. I actually just remembered that I did see. Let me see if
Is it?
yes, I
Is
do
it
have
one
the. I thought
that's
I
free? Survive.
No, that is the liquid death.
Oh yeah.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I did end up finding. I forgot about this, but Dream Draught.
Nice.
Alright, I'll
Okay, go ahead and we'll go with the 2 silver for the Dream Draught.
Okay.
So both. Well, page you passed. Let me check for fire. You roll, and you fail.
Welcome to standing up school.
So you do not get the benefit, but you do get nice and drunk. You don't pass out though. You're high enough not to pass out. And for Paige, with the dream draught, you begin to mildly hallucinate. Everything seems as it is, except for the things that seem like it isn't.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay.
Sawtooth orders a liquid death just to flex.
Okay. So you really don't garner much from a liquid death because you know.
Yeah, but hey, it's free. Bottoms up.
Well, it is a drink infused with the souls of the damned.
Ooh, this is true.
Yep.
It's kind of flavor.
You, in case you were wondering, no, you do not gain souls from drinking it.
No, I figured.
It's only infused, not made of.
Essence of soul.
If
Hellfire
you,
takes is a healthy double portion of Hellfire chicken.
So
Next
it's
table, and opens up a book.
So it's like the LaCroix of souls.
so,
Yeah.
Wildfire has chosen a table. Link, what do you want to eat?
I'll be having some Hellfire chicken with some Sundra.
Okay, go ahead. Give me just a second. Let me double check the sun drop. Go ahead and make your Constitution saving throw.
Oh right, I have proficiency on everything, so let me add a 6 as well.
So, you passed. You are now dimly glowing. You emit dim light for up to 30 feet.
Wait,
Perfect! That's lovely.
So, ballistic.
And how long do these effects last, by the way? Just curious.
Until your next rest.
Okay.
So I would like to get the slither shot and the bread bowl.
Okay.
No, he's not gonna have any drinks. Sorry.
Yeah, why not? Let him have it.
I will
It's a
point out
cider. It's a cider.
He's a.
that it is an alcoholic cider. You still have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Can you make a virgin?
He's been with us this long.
Do you have non-alcoholic slither shots? Because
Don't listen to him.
he's just a child. Don't let
So
him.
what's our roll, Nameless?
Constitution saving throw. Also, the Durgar behind the bar looks at you like you just said some of the most.
Offensive.
Yeah, you have thoroughly offended this dwarf.
Nice.
So, ballistic.
Yeah.
Hold on, just a sec. I opened the wrong. I wish he would quit giving me things in Notepad.
Wait, how did Quillian dwarf?
No, you offended.
You're the one who offended the dwarves.
How?
Dwarves are the ones that are serving the alcohol.
Your bartender is a dwarf. Dwarves are so drunk all of the time that when they are sober, they start having problems.
Okay,
So
he's a child. Please make an exception.
He's a child that's killed gods.
Oh,
Oh. True.
yeah, I
Say
feel like
if he wants to drink, let him drink.
well, Quillian, you are now believing of being a snake again.
Okay, so and also Quillian had was planning to do something, right? Wait, has everyone ordered?
All I got was
I ordered
alcohol,
some-
and I'm not going to actually order real food. I'm
I
sitting
have
up in the.
trying to passive aggressively order dwarven blood.
So, dwarven blood is effectively dwarven fire for you, so you need to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'm not going to, but I saw two things about it. Also, he stares daggers at Quillian.
Quillian is unbothered, and he wants it. Do you mind if I ask some questions to you, Link, through in the roleplay thing?
oh, go right ahead.
So, Mr. Hippo, I have 2 questions for you.
Oh god, wasted Quillian trying
He. I look at you with darted eyes and say, "Yes. What are your questions?"
First, Mr. Hippo, what is your name?
My name is Flowing Sky, and I would prefer you to refer to me like that, please.
Alright, Mr. Flowing Hippo, second question. Second
way-
question.
By the way, Link, he is obviously wasted off of the
Yeah.
one drink.
Well, technically I have 3 questions now. First, second of them, where'd you come from? You just joined in the battle, so randomly, and we have no idea where you came from.
Well, as much as I don't want to talk to you, of all people, I should at least explain this to the group.
Yeah.
But yes, I was brought in as reinforcements. It was meant to be my father, however, he is busy. So I was brought in to kind of provide aid to you guys. I had no idea.
You were not specifically meant to go straight to the Peacemakers. You were meant to just reinforce the others.
Yeah.
Because
That's
there
what
is
I'm
an
going
entire militant force that is trying to take the heat off of this group. You somebody botched your teleport and you ended up with the main group.
Yeah, I was about to say. I wasn't supposed to join you guys per se. I was just meant to help in the background, but something happened and I ended up with y'all.
Oh, okay. Now I have one last question. Well, actually, now I have 2 more.
I'm sorry.
So,
Did anybody else hear that as one ask question?
Yes. Alright,
Anyway.
child, ask your ass question.
anyways, My third question is why are there so many of you? Because so Quillian is like squinting really hard right now, and he's seeing multiple of flowing sky.
Not again.
Oh, well, you remember how there were clones in that last battle?
Yeah.
I can make clones too. Isn't it so fun?
Cool. Yeah.
It's
no.
lovely, isn't it?
And then
Encourage him.
fourth and final question. So, do you know our other hippogriff friend? What was his name? Sawtooth. What was his name?
Staghorn. You're talking about Staghorn.
Staghorn. Yes, Staghorn. Yes. Do you know Staghorn?
Well, obviously not personally, but
Oh, come on. All hippogriffs know each other.
You two come from opposite ends of the continent, so you have no idea who he actually is.
It's like saying every Kieran knows each other. Not
Wait.
true.
So you said you can make clones like the clones that were that we got?
yeah, absolutely.
Quillian tries to stab one of the clones.
Oh god.
Roll to attack with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Let's just start a bar fight.
Angry drunk.
Like with Star Wars.
Technically, since we're next to allies, wouldn't I get advantage to and cancel out the disadvantage?
No, you're wasted
Alright.
and attacking an ally, so you
Alright.
get disadvantage.
So...
Is that a 5? Or no, that was the previous roll. Okay.
No, that's the roll that got him wasted to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh
God, thank God it's disadvantage. Oh,
That still doesn't help you any, Link.
still connects.
No.
So, roll damage.
Damn, already. I hate you.
I have vanquished the clones!
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
God, I hope he passes.
2.
You.
Oh.
He's still living in the last battle.
Yeah, no, you passed out. So, Quillian topples over backwards with a thump.
Mhm.
This is why we don't give him alcohol.
I assume if I was to make an attempt to make contact with him, there would be nothing stopping me in this scenario.
No, other than if you actually attack him, the party may have some qualms.
I will
Okay.
tell you, I will warn you, Link, Quillian is a minor.
Mm-hmm.
He says after he gets wasted.
I am simply going to make an attempt to lightly slug him on the shoulder in a move of frustration. And,
If you are actually hitting him, you need to roll attack
Yeah.
and roll damage.
ooh, I have a +1 to rolls because of that now. Cool. Alright, let's see. That's what I'm going to attack him for.
And then roll damage.
That's my attack. And then,
I know that hits. He has the lowest
Yeah.
AC out of the entire party.
Yeah.
and if I'm trying to purposely, no, never mind. This is definitely a rage mode. Definitely hitting this small child. 7 damage. And I'm also definitely expending 3 ki to apply Quivering Palm to him. Absolutely. I'm not going to use it, but I'm definitely applying that as a precaution. However, no one would be aware of this fact,
Yeah, well,
since they are
nobody that you know of.
imperceivable. This is true.
I would say a
Regardless,
skilled enough
receive
monk would be able
receive a
to.
sideways glance from Fall Fire.
So,
God Damn it, this dude won't stop stabbing me. What is up with this child?
That child is one of our party members.
Yeah, that child is a child, and it's everyone else's fault for letting him drink alcohol.
Again.
I thought it was very entertaining, I want to point out.
Dangerous enough without alcohol, okay?
I don't think this wound is very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I'll forgive him this once since he's drunk.
Bad
I
clones.
swear to God.
Drunken
here,
ramblings
take
in
a-
their sleep.
Anyways,
Take this potion, I'm sure it'll help. I'll give you a superior potion.
okay. So what is that? Oh, thank you, friend. I'm definitely downing this immediately. So 8d4 plus 8, or...
We have different ones for it.
Okay, gotcha.
They have.
To scale up a bit. A superior is 10d4 plus 30.
Don't worry about it, Ballistic. I don't really think that there's going to be any reason for him to actually activate that. Especially since you guys have multiple bosses still.
So maybe none of us should be getting wasted with these stakes. I don't know.
Easy to say from someone that can't get wasted.
I very well could. I could kill this dwarf right here, drink his blood, and I'd be very wasted.
The dwarf, without even breaking stride, tells you that if you did, you probably wouldn't live to make it out of the bar.
Oh, that's cute.
So, roll
Did I tell you
perception.
who killed Long Night? No, I didn't. That was out of character.
Roll perception.
Okay. What's my perception? Give me a second. Sorry. Use wisdom. So. R. Exclamation mark R. Sorry. All right.
Roll.
D20.
You have to type roll.
16.
Yeah, basically the entirety of the bar, to include several large demons, is now glaring at you.
Oh. I can get a bit hot-headed sometimes. My apologies. I sort of slink downwards.
You think he can get hot-headed?
So,
Are they still in?
Anybody going to talk to anybody else?
Man, isn't this a group? Anyways, what are y'all's names? Now that I'm done with the child.
Well, the child's name is Quillian.
I'm
I
My
probably...
name is
I do
Falk.
remember that. He screamed it several times after all.
Sorry, Fair?
Anyways. Nice to meet you. As you might have heard, I am Flowing Sky. But feel free to call me Sky.
Well, nice to meet you, Sky.
For sure. Your skills on the battlefield were pretty impressive, which makes me curious about your father, who was supposed to be sent instead. Who is he? Do we know him?
Well, I don't know if his business is well known, but he is a monk like me. He's actually the one who taught me to fight. But yeah, he is considerably strong. I'd say he's stronger than me still. But
I could take him.
I would be shocked if you could, friend.
I taught myself how to fight. Promptly slaps the book in front of him. See that it's burnt and torn and very, very old.
Ooh, what's this? What is in here?
This is a book.
That's a very
Cool.
barbarian answer.
What is in the book?
How to use fire. More
Hmm.
specifically, my fire.
Magic, I see.
Sounds hot.
So
It is hot.
on closer inspection, the book, like the title on the cover, is handwritten very poorly, but it says "The Path of the Flame Singer."
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So that's what made you burning that whole fight.
Nah, I can just do that normally. This just tells me how to control it.
Kieran,
There's this really cool chapter at the end about, becoming the embodiment of Kieran Warrior. I can't wait to try that.
fucking with Kieran, they have an alternate form whenever they're angry, called the Neeric,
Mhm.
which basically they just burst into flames.
Well, I would say controlling flames is pretty important, especially on you. So
He snorts fire.
rather important, but
Yeah,
Alrighty.
he hasn't always been very in control of himself. Trust me, I've been around it the longest, and he's ran full speed into situations he wasn't ready for more than enough.
Hey, I'm still alive, aren't I?
I can tell,
Very.
but he seems more the entertaining reckless rather than glares at small child.
So,
Just idiotic reckless.
There is something to be said of that. True, very true.
so fair. I love how you mentioned. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. I completely forgot the last 10 seconds. Sorry.
It's okay. I feel you, Cloven. I mean, Ballistic.
Just quick anecdote.
I'm unconscious.
One of their early interactions with like the start of this campaign, Farrah decided to Leroy Jenkins because Sawtooth was taking too long trying to circularly plan with somebody else who kept poking holes in each other's plans, and it was just going round and round and round. So Farrah was just like, "Fuck this, Leroy Jenkins," and just charged into a group of like high-level casters who magic missiled him into the dirt.
Wow.
I remember what I was going
I'm
to say
still
now.
alive. Thank
I
you
remember
very
what I was going
much.
to say now. That staying alive comment, that doesn't that doesn't really work because Quillian is still alive, and do you want him to continue doing the stuff he does?
Well, if you're as stubborn as I am,
He's literally too angry to die. Ballistic.
I fought myself and won.
Does that mean you also lost?
I wish I could say
My
the
lesser
same.
self.
However,
lost.
some dagger-wielding fool interrupted my fight and nearly knocked me unconscious.
Sorry to hear that. Moving on.
It's a rite of passage in Peacemakers. Everyone here has been stabbed by Quillian at least once.
It is kind of a rite of passage around here.
Welcome
I
to
wish
the
you'd at least buy me a drink before he stabs holes in me.
It's also just weird.
Actually,
We-
Saw.
Yeah.
I think you're the only person I had stabbed before before the clones came along.
Okay. It feels like everyone, though.
But one is enough to make it not weird, Quillian, to stab somebody randomly.
Agreed. I think one time was too many. So it's kind of weird that it happened twice, honestly. Like, you should probably reflect on that.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Peacemaker!
Well, you sure are an interesting bunch, I'll give you that much.
For real, we
Shadow-
need all the help we can get, and we're happy to have you.
At the Welcome to Peacemakers comment, Shadowfire rolls his eyes, and Gaster and Lena both face hoof.
I'm just off in the corner, just drinking my drink.
So, a few moments pass, and then Sawtooth sort of gives a little bit of a confused but cold glare at Solar and catches a moment of eye contact and sort of stutters like, "Was last night? Was that? He sort of stammers there.
Last night happened.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then Sawtooth sort of looks forward coldly, gives her the cold shoulder, and goes back to his drink.
When Sawtooth sits down, Gaster gets up from his spot and hands him a drink.
What's that?
He chuckles and says, "It's an old recipe from my home.
Intoxicate me.
It's tea."
Okay, thank you. Sawtooth sips it.
So it gives you a reminiscent taste of like the feeling that you would get from listening to the ocean. It's not like salty water taste. It's actually quite a pleasant taste. But like if you were sitting on a beach just kind of listening to the sounds of the waves, that's the kind of feeling that you're getting in a taste.
Okay.
Damn, that's a drink that I would want to drink.
No, he gave it to me. Keep away. This is delicious. I love this. What is it?
Well, we weren't exactly the best for naming things, but it's called sea tea.
ET. Oh, thank you so much for sharing it.
He nods and trots back over to the other two.
Which two? Lena and...
The other
Lena and
two
Shadow.
VIPs.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So Sawtooth at least has a little bit of a smile now as he ignores Solar and drinks his tea.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to do? Or say? With the exception of Quillian, who is currently passed out on the floor.
I go over and slap Quilly on the back of the head, casting protection from poison.
Quillian, you are now sober. Quite suddenly.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Does that wake me up, or
Well, there's a reason why I said I slap you across the back of the head.
Ooh, that looked fun, Solar. Can I get a try?
Quillian, you get
My turn.
Quillian, you
Oh,
get
he'll fit in
the
real
collective
well.
hangover and pain from being punched and
Ow!
slapped. So, you are not a happy camper right now. Everything hurts.
Aww, I don't have anything left. Can I have another?
No. That's not happening.
No,
Over my
Quillian.
dead body.
You're already dead, so I can have it. Thank you, Sawtooth.
No.
Quillian, you will not get another drink.
Aww. Okay,
Although,
falling hippo.
Good news, you did at least dispel the clone, so you are at least good at doing that much.
Yay!
Don't encourage him.
I'm
Please
waiting for
don't.
the.
I might as well entertain him so that he doesn't fucking stab me again.
Well, you gotta stab him first. That's how we pretty much cope around here.
If he tries, I'm ready. This time.
By stab, I usually mean we hit him up the head with a stick.
I've been knocked out over 30 times by this point, I'm pretty sure.
And I feel like you
think you should be
deserve
keeping
each
track
and
of
every
that.
one of them.
I've also been struck by lightning 7 times.
You have been struck. I don't know why you said almost.
Is this really a child?
Yes.
How is this child taking this much beating?
Endurance.
Termination.
Welcome to 5th edition.
He's been disabused because he managed to get on the wrong side of literally everyone.
Oh wow, really? That's a shocker to me.
Hey, I have a good relationship with Staghorn.
It actually does. So,
Yeah, he can be alright. He just needs to watch it sometimes.
Says the Lich.
What's that supposed to mean? When have I Quillianed?
So, I'm assuming that his dad has decided to work on the basement again. So, are you guys have anything else you want to do roleplay wise right now? Because otherwise, we're going to move to the planning phase.
Ooh, planning.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So, you guys have technically 3 bosses before Soul Tenebris, but as I have said before, one of them you will be able to diplomacy your way through.
Mhm.
So, who shall you be going after next?
Let's see. There's 3 more. If I recall, there's 3 more pillars, right? Not pillars. 3 more
Pylons.
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 One.
Technically 4, because these, as you were told, these are protecting a larger one.
Yes, gotta kill the stragglers to get to the big one.
One counts as 2 or something? I'm a bit confused. What do you mean?
That means that
you have
Soul
the 3.
is probably guarding the last one.
Yeah, the big one is the main defense for the city. That is the thing that is basically hinged on. You're destroying the ones that are defending that one.
Mm-hmm.
We have, besides Soul Tenebris, we have 3 foes left, as far as I can recall. There's the Necromancer, there's the Kraken, and Forrigan, right? That's
Yes.
those 3? Alright.
How are we even gonna deal with the Kraken?
This guy's eyes light up as you say the words Kraken.
What's got you so excited?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, it sounds like so much fun. I'll fight a Kraken.
You go swim in that lake and find out.
Have you seen the Kraken?
Saw's actually part Kraken.
I mean, I haven't seen it before, but they sound rather strong from what I've heard.
Look into my eyes. Do you want to deal with this shit?
He has
Speaking of
squid
which-
eyes.
I mean, I'm up for anything that has any strength.
Those squid features on both you and Cloud.
Mhm.
So
I think we should go after the Necromancer, mainly because we've done what he needs us to do, and he knows where we will be. Or he at least knows our general whereabouts.
at the same time, Plagueheart seems like pretty reasonable. Like, I feel like they might be able to use us a bit longer. We can go in ready to fight, but
He has no use for us anymore. There's no reason for him to keep us alive.
okay. Alright, anyone disagree with that idea? For us going after Plagueheart next?
Whatever you guys are up for is probably the smartest plan. I don't know anything about this. I'll just follow and...
Maybe we should get the diplomacy out of the way first. Who knows how long they'll be willing to act diplomatically.
I mean diplomacy with Plagueheart?
Well, who was the one you talked to?
It was Plagueheart, wasn't it?
It was Vorgan, Plagueheart's right hand.
They've,
Vorgan
they
was
have
the one who
talked to
sent
both.
us.
Have I not talked with both at this point?
Yeah,
Yes.
Vorgan's the one who sent us after Long Night. Plagueheart talked to us, or specifically you, pointing
Me.
at Sawtooth.
Yeah, Plagueheart offered for me to join their ranks, which and we've
And-
worked with Vorgan. So
Vorgan
I've also talked to Plagueheart before.
Vorgan is the one that is acting on Plagueheart's behalf.
yeah,
Just so
Vorgan.
you're aware.
He's also the one that told us to go after Long Night.
Well, if Vorgan is the right hand of Plagueheart, upsetting him might upset Plagueheart as well. But if...
So we go convince Vorgan to let us suck the juice out of his pylon. That's that.
Wait, what'd you say, Paul?
Well, we did the work for them, so obviously we got to cash in on our end of the deal, right?
What's our end of the deal? What are you implying?
Well, we take away his pylon.
I don't think that was part of the deal. I don't remember that being part of the deal.
Okay, which one should we go after first? Plagueheart or the person who works for Plagueheart? Because, okay, hold up. If we end up fighting Plagueheart, and Vorgan works for Plagueheart,
Let's go for Plagueheart, because with him, Vorgan, working underneath Plagueheart, the worst case scenario, we take two birds. We take out two at once.
and we handle both at once.
I don't know, given what we've already faced.
We've almost died several times, and we've only taken on one pylon holder at a time.
And on top of that,
last one
Plagueheart
was
is a
pretty
lich.
Yeah?
Hmm.
And what's wrong with being a lich?
They're some of the more understanding of the undead. And on top of that, there's some sort of leverage that he has to take care of.
I guess I see your point.
It's possible. I feel like Plagueheart, out of all of them, I feel like Plagueheart might be the only one who, or Plagueheart or Vorgan, either one of those two. I feel like they might be one of the ones that would like look the other way, like act like they didn't know what was going on. That might be a big if.
Which one would be more okay with us taking on Soul Tenebris? I feel like that's a better way to approach this.
They both realize how they're being used, and they don't like Soul Tenebris, so either one is likely, but it just depends on how much he has leverage on them. Like, how scared they are of angering him.
In that case, could we not get them to help us take on the Kraken?
No, that would be too far even for them. That would be... At most, I feel like we'll be able to get, like,
if
the
we get
pylons
them
on...
to
Yeah.
help us take on the Kraken, it will be the giant flag showing that they are rebelling against him.
Yeah, at most we'll get them to turn the other way when we destroy the pylons, but that's the most, and that's even unlikely.
Alright, so... who next? Gonna be Kurt or Vorgan?
Plagueheart.
I vote for Plagueheart as well. It's better to get the stronger one out of the way.
I don't care, as long as I can kill something at this point.
I'm of the same mind, friend.
I'm just concerned if things go south, Plagueheart calls on Vorgan, and we have to fight both of them.
Well, that could be
And you
either way.
realize we have two clerics in the party.
Yeah?
You realize clerics have the ability to mitigate undead interactions against them.
Okay, that's true. That is helpful.
So you should really be aware of your new weaknesses.
Oh, I am.
Page amuses me. I know
Alright.
with that single phrase that I have sent a chill down Paige's spine, but Paige amuses me.
Yeah.
So that's it then, we're going after Plagueheart, right?
Guess so.
I guess so.
Yeah. That's...
I'm fine with that.
And we go in ready to fight, but not, like, set on fighting.
We'll go in, being blunt with it would be best, just because they know what we're trying to do. It's not going to work if we try and go in there secretly. Just be blunt about it. That's the best way to do it, because that's one most likely going to give us the best results. Either we go in there bluntly and they do agree to turn the other cheek, or we go in there bluntly and there's a fight and we might take them by surprise.
Not so good at espionage anyway, so I think Quillian's right on this one.
I don't know, I've had some good streaks.
Not
Flashbacks to burning down an entire village.
On top of that, it's pretty hard not to be obvious with two clerics when walking into a
True.
necropolis.
Yeah, you guys stick out like sore thumbs.
Yeah.
I did my job. Wait, who was it that commissioned me to take down?
That was Vorgan on behalf of Plagueheart.
So they're the same. Their interests are aligned. So I feel like if we took on Vorgan, there'd be just as likely a chance that Plagueheart would join the fight anyway. So all right, let's go talk to Plagueheart.
Talk to the man in charge.
So,
Are we going with the intention of talking first?
Yeah, we're not gonna. We're gonna try
No
to.
reason to pick a fight with a lich if we don't have to.
Prepared
Yeah.
to fight, but willing to not. Pretty much.
prepared to fight, be willing to make friends.
If the fight is what they want, we'll have one waiting for them.
No matter how much I dislike the fact.
So, you guys, I'm not going to make anybody roll survival this time, but you guys make it to the edge of the Acropolis. And almost as if they knew you were coming, there's a pair of Death Knights standing waiting for you. They do not move to attack, but one of them does tell you to follow them.
Taking us to Plagueheart then.
They do not answer the question.
I follow with only that statement.
So,
As well.
all of the party following the Plague Knights? Or Plague
Yeah.
Knights,
I guess
Death
so.
Knights? So, they walk you through the necropolis and, usual spooky undead shit all around. Let's see.
This place seems a lot less friendly since the last time I was here.
The decor. Look what you done with the place.
Here we go, we got spooky undead noises.
Cool.
But as they walk you through, you see Oregon's Manor, but they walk past that, and they come to what appears to be a very large tower, and it could only really be described as a metal finger poking up from the ground, kind of like it just sprouted up there.
A middle finger flipping us off.
No, we're not talking about Twilight Castle.
Ooh!
Never gonna see it the same way.
No, I'd rather be here than Twilight's Castle at this point, honestly.
But as you guys approach it, there is the gate at the base of the tower opens, and they point you inside. Paige, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
This is a 22 for the save.
You pass. You do feel like a chill, an unnatural chill, run down your spine as you cross the threshold, though.
Hmm.
Let's see. Don't have any decent sounds that will repeat for this, so we'll be doing this without sounds for now. So as you make your way through the tower, the Death Knights, so you're left by the Death Knights that got you there, and a bigger pair are one of the ones leading you right now. As they
yes, the bigger is better.
they take you up to the top of the tower, and as you enter what appears to be a large, almost arena-like room with the pylon centered in the middle of it, you see no less than 6 plague hearts, all fussing over what spots on the floor and whatnot.
Clones.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's
Hey,
not too
Quillian,
surprising.
It's more clones.
For the casters, you can roll Arcana to see if you can tell what he's doing.
Oh, he's vibing. That's what he's doing.
Arcana. The worst of my casting abilities.
Okay.
Ouch.
What's magic?
So Sawtooth, you're pretty
Yes.
sure you've seen this before. He's drawing party signs.
Party signs?
Yes. You don't know what that means, but you're sure he's doing it.
I'm confused and
He's
bewildered.
playing a very advanced form of tic-tac-toe.
Oh, a man of poker.
Ooh, I want to play.
For Paige, you've seen a few casters, wizards, and whatnot in your day. What he's doing is actually creating, what are they called? Glyphs of warding. You do notice that they seem to be dotted around the room at random, and the clones are probably simulacrums, as far as you can tell. And you can't really tell which one is the actual one, if the actual one is even here.
Just like with
I
I lightly clear my throat.
One of the plague hearts looks up and says, "Ah, yes, just in time." And he raises a hoof and finishes an incantation before trotting over to you guys. So give me just a sec.
Okay.
I'm going to send a picture of what we are using for Plague Heart right now until we get official art for Link to see. Plague Heart.
Yes.
He is also an alicorn, so he has wings and a horn.
So before we properly start talking to him, I cast a death ward on myself.
As he approaches, he says, "I saw that."
It's always better safe than sorry.
True. I cannot fault you.
Especially considering the last time I interacted with one of your lackeys.
Ooh.
Paige.
He looks at you with a head cocked slightly to the side, and he says, "Who? You must forgive me. I have made many undead in my day, so I am not entirely sure who you are talking about."
The bloodsucker?
Alright, so that might be a bit much for now. We're talking about Vorgan, the vampire.
He says, one of my greatest creations.
Also, I'm sure you don't remember me, but I formally introduced myself as Feathery Down, but I shall introduce myself more properly as my real name, Quillian Inksplat.
He nods and says, "I already knew that. Scrying, it's a wonderful thing."
I was also surprised that worked.
Who's to say that it did?
I mean, like, I'm surprised.
didn't.
So at the time I had said that, and I thought it worked, so I was surprised by that, I'm saying.
You can hear the chuckle from behind the mask as he says, I'll let you continue believing what you want.
At this point, is there just one of them?
The
No.
other ones are still busily working on glyphs of warding.
So did I try lend any insight on which one is the real one? Is it the one talking to us?
I am going to send you an answer.
Okay.
So, Plague Heart, I'm sure you know why we're here, and it's not like we're being secretive about it either. But there is one thing. we don't want to fight you for multiple reasons. A big one is you are a lich, and those are not fun, as we've seen with our friend here, Sawtooth.
Excuse me. What
It
about
me. You have to eat souls, Sawtooth. Like, it's not the best gig ever.
You haven't tried them. They're actually pretty good.
You realize Gaster has to do the exact same thing.
Again, I'm not. It's not an offensive thing. It's just something you have to do, and it's something I know that before you would rather have not done it. So
He
Maybe.
he nods sagely as he listens to your talking and says, "You know what? I will be totally upfront with this one. I don't want to fight you either. You see, I have spent many years researching and trying to learn what I can, and it's only so much you can do from the restraint of a sealed ancient city. So, I would much rather not. There's many, many more things that I would like to do. After
that's
all, one doesn't choose lichdom for no reason."
Well,
And he
sorry.
looks at, glances at both Gaster and Sawtooth.
that makes sense. Oops, sorry.
I definitely wasn't for no reason. I didn't choose it, but
But you did have a reason.
yeah, for sure. But what's keeping you here then?
Well, as it stands right now, now that the seal that kept us in the city is lifted, other than, the active war zone outside,
Sultanibus has your phylactery.
actually, no, he thinks he does. And
Oh.
you can hear the smugness in his voice as he says that. It took me nearly a millennia to do it, but I was able to switch out a fake for the one that he has. And
Diabolical. How did you do it?
he taps the side of his snout and says, "That is a secret that I will keep to my grave." Let's just
So
say
the only reason you're helping us is because Sultanibus no longer has leverage over you.
the reason I am helping you so, shall we say, openly? Not that I would call what I am doing open assistance.
Willingly.
Yes. So there was another reason we didn't want to fight you in the first place. It's not just because you would be a powerful enemy against us. It's also because you would be a powerful ally. Not even just with fighting, but just you turning the other cheek for us if we were to go after your pylon. Just that would help us immensely because not only would it help us with our resources.
Quillian.
Keep some
Yes.
cards close to our chests,
He chuckles and says, "Ah, yes, I see where you're coming from. But I think I may be able to do you and myself one better." And as he says that, the simulacrums, or maybe the copy that is the real deal, for those of you that don't know, all finish what they are doing, and most of them just kind of walk out of the room, and one of them stands in the middle of the room and just kind of sits there expectantly and says, "See, the glyphs of warding," and he gestures to the one of the ones nearby, "are part of a pretty simple setup that I have devised. Because if I appear to be dead, like you have killed so many of my peers, then what's the point of calling on me whenever you come knocking on his door?"
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh,
If he looks like he's dead, he's not going to be called when we go fight Sultanibus proper.
He nods. Did you truly think that someone as powerful as he would be so naive as to believe that he would fight you honorably and win?
Yeah, he's gonna call all of his allies.
He
So-
doesn't care as
Okay.
long
All of his lackeys.
he nods and says that is a very important distinction to him. He doesn't particularly care on the matters of honor. He is more concerned on results. And
So-
His desired result is our death.
correct.
So these glyphs are gonna trick Soul Tenebris into thinking you're dead?
Well, tell me,
Oh.
if you were to walk into what was supposed to be a battle zone and it was completely spotless, that you would believe that nothing happened here?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm,
I just stare at
that is a point.
Sawtooth.
So
I
you're-
join Paige in staring.
You're gonna create the illusion of a battle that happened there.
So he gestures for you guys to move up towards the wall in a particular direction.
I go ahead and follow what he's trying to get us to do.
Same.
I do as well.
Does everybody do that?
I
Yeah.
will reluctantly follow, I guess.
So once you guys are all to one side of the room, he barks out a word in a language that is arcane in nature from what the two casters can tell, but doesn't have any kind of meaning to you, Link.
Mhm.
And the room practically explodes. Walls of fire just shoot up. Lightning crackles. Fucking expanses of the Dark Star spell just appear and disappear. As it, like, the room just erupts as if an entire battle was had in the span of a second.
Oh my
Leaving
God.
lots of scar marks on the floor, and it looks like a battle happened here. And
More importantly, it looks like a battle that we waged.
yes,
This is good.
and he bows and says, "Thank you. It took
I don't
me
know
several
how-
days to set
How
this up."
authentic? I don't know how authentic these Kieran flames are.
It's rather powerful. I'm honestly sad I don't get to fight you, at least a little bit.
Oh,
He shrugs and says, "If it's any condolence to you, you can take out some frustration on the simulacrum standing over there. After all, we need to have a bit of realistic damage from you lot for the actual death." And he gestures to the simulacrum standing over by the pylon. "If you could hit it with everything you've got, I would appreciate that."
Playcart, I'm not down your abilities, but it's just the fact that Soul Tenebris, would he believe that one of your simulacrums was the real you?
Oh, you see, this one's a bit special. Because clone was just not enough for this. This one is one of my own making.
if he can trick Soul Tenebris into thinking he has his phylactery, then he can trick him into anything.
I'm gonna make the assumption that the fake is that version of your cell's actual phylactery.
Oh, it has all of the things to appear as a corpse that properly befitting my stature. I'll go with, let's go with stature. That's easiest way to explain it.
Say no more. I'll help with that. And Sky definitely sprints over to the simulacrum, itching to cause some damage.
I move closer to it, activating turn undead.
I don't know. It's just not the same to me.
You two are definitely clerics, that's for sure.
Well, one's a cleric, the other's a monk. But
Yeah,
You know what I
like,
mean.
begrudgingly walks over. He's like, I don't know, spirit, but I guess.
I go over and stab it a couple times in the butt area.
I sort of passively cast my cantrip firebolt in the direction of the simulacrum things. I can't pronounce it.
I
The-
very much excitingly strike it twice, then Fury blows it as well.
So
I have a skeptical look on my face, though.
he looks particularly at you, Sawtooth, and asks, "Why the weak showing?"
It's just, I mean, you may be fine with us killing Soul Tenebris, but what about after that? What tells us you're not going to turn on us later? Because we're a threat to you.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. You're a threat to me if I am a threat to you.
As long as he's not trying to destroy the world.
So your goals can perfectly coexist with ours.
All he wants is to study things, by my understanding.
Yes, I'm first and foremost a wizard. A wizard is a scholar, and a scholar seeks knowledge.
Okay.
I have gathered more than enough power to be able to sustain myself near indefinitely, so I don't really have to worry about
Okay.
having to cause mass genocides or search
Mhm.
out sources of power. At least not in your lifetimes. Except maybe
So-
yours.
So Sawtooth looks curiously like, so there was a point where you were doing the whole genocide thing?
I mean,
There's a reason why he's on this Celestia Forsaken rock.
I would agree with the cleric. I made some regrettable
What name was he
choices
called?
in my youth. He says, I would agree with the cleric. I have made some regrettable choices in my youth. And Gaster doesn't say anything, but you do see him nodding almost sagely.
And Sawtooth's looking thoughtfully but concerned, seeing a potential, imagining his potential future.
However, if you insist on actually fighting me, I will not hold back.
No, that's not what we're all about.
Not all of us want to fight you just to fight you.
And on top of that,
Yeah, that's only me.
killing
Take it
him
away.
won't really do anything, considering we don't know where he's hidden his true self.
He chuckles and says, "I see you know more than your brethren normally do."
So, I know you're not here, but is your pylon here?
Oh yes, that is the real deal. I know
That's
that
right.
if I were to fake that, one, it would undermine what I am trying to do, and two, it doesn't work that well with trying to help you with this so that I can get out of here.
So you'll let us just absorb the magic and leave? Go our merry ways?
He looks at you with what, despite the mask, you can tell it is a slightly annoyed face.
The answer is yes.
I see one of you has been paying attention.
Saw, he literally wouldn't be doing this all if he wouldn't let us do this.
It just feels too good to be true.
It is a bit too good, but I mean, it's good because both of our goals align here. We're both working for the same thing. That's just what happens sometimes. It's a good thing.
Sawtooth approaches the pylon with his with the amulet ready.
He does, as you do it, he does say, "I would suggest that when you do your thing, using everything at your disposal, anything less than that would seem like you weren't taking me seriously, which you should know fairly easily that is not the best way to survive.
Yeah, I
Fighting a
decide to
lich.
activate. At this point, I activate anti-magic field.
Where are you putting it?
It originates on my person.
Okay, and are you closer to the pylon, or where are you?
I'm slightly close to the pylon, but not close enough to prevent magic items from being
I'm sorry.
effective.
Okay.
I'm just gonna ask, out of character. I'm super confused. What do you mean doing all at my disposal?
He, basically, he's hinting to use your amulet.
Okay.
Use an
Is-
actual charge of your amulet.
Wait, use a charge to absorb? That's not how that works.
No, you're using a
Cast
charge to
a
kill
spell
the-
through it.
You're trying to kill the simulacrum with it.
You're trying
No.
to kill. Okay, think
No,
about it this way.
I'm trying to. I'm going towards the pylon. I want to absorb the magic from it.
No, you need to destroy the simulacrum first because you're trying to fake a death.
Yeah,
Yeah, that needs to go first.
and he's trying to tell you to use your amulet as a way to.
He's trying to do it in such a way that he's not acknowledging that you have it, even
Yeah.
though
He knows,
it should be fairly obvious that he knows.
of course. So I give him. Okay, so now that I, out of character, know what he means, pretend that Sawtooth isn't as dumb as me. So he gives like a knowing.
He is as dumb as you. He in character is.
But he understands at least what he's hinting at and nods, pulling out his phylactery and casting.
It's okay to use an area of effect spell and stuff like that.
No, because that would put everyone here at risk.
You can tell them to move.
Yeah,
Magic
we don't have to do it
missile at
immediately.
9th level through the amulet.
No.
Mhm.
I guess I should do something at 8th level, right?
Could say go all out.
Lightning bolt. All right, so I cast lightning bolt at 8th level, aimed towards aimed at him. Yeah.
So
Through my amulet.
As you cast it, a magical circle appears underneath the simulacrum. It is about 60 feet in diameter, and it goes off like a bomb. The entire area just kind of disappears in a bright light as you can hear the crackling of lightning. Everybody in the room, all hair and fur is like standing on end right now because of the amount of pure static, with the notable exception of Lena. She looks perfectly fine.
Quillian isn't exactly shocked at the feeling either.
Of course. What is this, 8?
It is electrifying.
Did that take out the pylon as well?
No.
No.
I doubt it.
So, with that out of the way, Sawtooth goes up and absorbs the magic out of the pylon.
Okay. So you gain 50 souls from that.
Did you say 50?
Yes.
Said 50 with that
It is
5-0.
It is
Oh.
a powerful magical item that you do not know the actual origins of.
How is it that the pylon was as many souls as Long Night?
Do you know what went into making the
I'm just surprised. Alright, let's see. 60, 70, 80.
Also, Saw, I do have to mention, Plagueheart is a lich.
Yes, this is true.
Mhm.
I'm aware of this fact.
I would think that if someone was a lich with, like, I would consider that his would have a lot more souls than one who wasn't a lich, since liches rely on souls for a lot of things.
Wait, he's just lit? No.
Oh, I know, but
So
this will keep me going for...
you're not You're
This is
not
awesome.
actually quite correct. Remember, some
Oh.
magical items and some magical spells that you guys have run across have required a material component of questionable origin.
Mm-hmm.
Just observed.
We started this. Do I subtract eight souls every morning when I wake up?
Yes, well, we're gonna go with that because that'll be the easiest way to keep track of it.
And this session was the first morning I've woken up since ascending to level 4 Lichdom, right?
Yes.
Alright, I might as well make my first subtraction then.
Ooh, actually, that's a good point. Has a full sunset dawn occurred since the last
It
battle?
has been a full day since last battle.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mark
How long
that.
have we been in this citadel?
Too long.
Too long.
At least a few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. If not a month or more.
We got
What the world outside is like right now.
So when you cast that, and once the simulacrum and the pylon are gone, Plagueheart nods and says, "Very good. I look forward to perhaps seeing you again someday."
Wait, hold up. Before you go. What about your creation, Vorrigan? We have to deal with their pylon too.
Oh yes, of course.
Are we gonna have to fight them the good old-fashioned way, or can you arrange something there too?
He shrugs and says, "While he is my creation,
He acts upon his own will, and we're gonna have to take it up with him."
he almost looks surprised when you say that, Paige, and he nods. Actually, that is correct."
But you do realize what I'm implying here. You seem to be awfully proud of Vorrigan, and if they stand between us and the pylon, then
Then we have to kill him.
So,
yeah.
I'm not entirely sure about this one, but Plagueheart makes a lot of these guys, and even though Vorgan is one of Plagueheart's best ones, he can try and make another he can. All in all, he's just another subordinate to him, I would say.
So I'm just gonna run under the assumption that you're gonna stop taking back control over all the undead that's in the city.
He nods and says, "Yes, it would be rather problematic if I was still controlling the undead within these walls."
Right?
So more roaming undead who are gonna randomly start attacking.
Not until you have dealt with Vorg. In my stead, he is the one who normally deals with all of that.
Alright. Well, I guess that should be our next target then. What do you say, people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. That's what I was thinking we could do with anyways.
Unless Vorgan can be talked out of this too?
I hope he can, but again, be prepared for fighting, but hope for friendship or allyship.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's a word.
Alright, well, I really wasn't expecting things to go down like this, but I nod respectfully towards Plagueheart and say thank you for your assistance.
Yeah, at this point I'm already starting to walk out of the necropolis.
Yeah, he just kind of disappears when you guys leave.
Mhm.
I am currently working on a thing. So you guys are going to head to Plagueheart's Manor?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I cast my level 8 spell too, so I'm not going into this fight completely fresh. But hey, that was still pretty cool.
You know I did as well.
That's true. But that's still